Give me a couple of minutes. I don't know why it's not responding right now. What's it doing? Not responding. Should be give a couple seconds there.
Yeah, we're here.
Not yet. It's saying OBS not responding for yet. It does that a couple times. I don't know why it does that. Got to get a couple minutes. But I got David Gilmour's tour dates coming up here in the States. It's only two cities, New York and LA. Nothing about Florida or
Yeah, I already saw that.
yeah, I saw that. There will be talking about that. And most of them are European shows. All right.
Yeah, I got a couple news pieces. I'll send you some more ones that are pretty good.
All right, there. We're ready to roll. Before we begin, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the new episode of Music Maniacs with me and myself, and of course my boy YR. And we're going to be talking about the upcoming tour from David Gilmour. There'll be only two dates here in the States, LA and New York City. Also, we talked about Tesla. They're going to be coming to YR State of Texas soon there. And I guess you called Eddie Trunk once again about Tesla, if I understand, before
Yeah,
we started the show.
yeah, they're doing a couple concerts and they're doing back, night after night, back after back on that. So very
Nice.
interesting.
Interesting there. And we're also discussing how Tesla has this huge fan base, something similar to the Grateful Dead's Deadhead fan base.
Yeah, it's a pretty popular group. Still live and everything. Just smaller venues. It's not like they're doing football fields something like that, but they do.
Stadiums or arenas.
If bands don't really do that though, they don't usually come in for. They only come in for one night and leave on that. So you got
Yes.
those pictures I sent you? I just sent
Um,
you
it's coming in right now on the phone here. All right.
a couple good pieces on that.
All right, there. Give it a while. Usually does that when I try to get Skype on my phone in terms of the messages and stuff here. All right, there. I think I was sent this one here. Serge Takian wanted to address the creative differences that was going down within the band System of a Down by taking the sensationalist aspect out of it.
But what does that mean? Like sensationalist at like that's a band that would they're just so hard headed, bro. And listen, they were huge
They
when
were
they were at,
huge.
and right now, 20 years later, all those groups, I mean, all those 90s groups, all the 2000 groups, they're coming back. They're
Yeah.
pop.
Limp
Uh,
Bizkit.
now,
I remember you saw the Toadies not
yeah,
too long ago. Yeah.
there's a ton, there's so many one hit wonder. There's so many groups that have a bunch of hits. The alternative group, you know what I'm saying, from the 90s, 2000s. Um, they're coming back. It's coming back, and they're sounding. And a lot of these bands sound good. It's not like the '80s where they were, screaming and yelling and they lost their voice, like a lot of them have. A lot of these groups from the '90s, 2000s are still good. It's
Yeah.
just whether you're into them or not. Your Stains. I like to see them. I mean, System of a Down's good, but they never tour. Like they tour, but when they tour, it's just like a couple festivals and that's it, or just one big festival or a few festivals a year. Um, and I've never really like went. I never did. I mean, I guess I did do a music festival, like the kid. I don't know, like I did the Kiss thing in a soccer stadium, and then the Metallica thing, which wasn't necessarily a festival, but
Hmm.
it was kind of like the same concept there. You know what I'm saying? Set festivals are in fields or blah 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 with big stages, endless amount of
Yes.
people. Um, they don't really have a lot of music festivals in Texas, Dr. Brown.
Yeah, I understand that
They have
well. Yeah.
they have the South by Southwest shit in Austin, like a few little like the Texas State Fair, but like for music fest, like Rockville, like the rock festivals, like that's all in states and cities where it's not really.
Not
um
heavy populated, basically.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So they get better, you know what I'm saying? And it'll be nice to go to one of those, but I don't know. I feel like it's too much. I mean, look, even the Metallica thing was kind of like a big hassle, like $50 parking, the line, but
$50
lines aren't
parking.
really
Whoa.
like lines aren't really
Wow.
a deal nowadays. Waiting in line, like most venues have the newer metal detectors to
Yes,
where
they do. Yeah.
you seen that it's just like the poles. It's like these poles you walk
Yes, we walk right
by.
through and it detects if we have anything hidden underneath, like we went through with the Judas Priest show that we saw together.
And some most event places are having these newer metal detectors, so it's an easy way. I mean, there's like no line wait. There's no. I mean, you go right through, blah blah blah, and waiting in line and all. I mean, it does. But I feel like it's part of the. That's a part of the deal. It's part of the experience. Waiting in line for the concert, talking to the other people in line. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
but to get back to the System of a Down,
Yes.
they are definitely like, on the left side of things politically. They've always
I'm not
been.
surprised. Many bands of that genre are on the left when it comes to political views and stuff. And you gotta remember, many of these bands grew up in the 90s where liberal values were running amok left and right.
Yeah,
So they
and they were
absorb all
both
those. Go
like
ahead.
like what's the other band from the '90s? Dun, dun, you can't do what you tell us.
Oh,
Dun, dun.
Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah,
That they were probably the biggest of the lefties out there.
they were outspoken, and so is System of a Down, the singer. He's pretty outspoken and everything,
hmm
and I think they're from what are they, Armenian or what's the?
Armenian, I believe so. Yes.
So they did a couple new songs like around the few years ago about that. Um, but other than that, it's just like it's just the older albums, like nothing really. Yeah, you can still go see him at a festival, but got to pay that price for the festival ticket and all that. I think they just had a Rockville. This one called M3. They had like M3 and Rockville. They just had,
Oh
and
wow, interesting.
I mean everyone was there. I mean, I sent you that center video, Priest.
Yes, the sin. Yeah, Priest doing Sinner in their latest set list right now on their current tour, the Invincible
Where they're
Shield
switching
tour.
it out. Where they're switching it out for some days they'll play that center, or they'll switch it out for you can't old enough to be wise. You don't have to be
hmm
old to be wise.
Yeah.
Which I mean, center is just worth the price of admission. Just hearing that song, like I like both songs and the riff on. You don't have to be old to be wise. That
Yep,
riff, that
that's a good song. Yes.
very good. The tone on that, but I hope they play center. I'm going. I might do both. I might do both cities again, Brown.
All right, nice.
Do I
And
might
that
do.
that was how you did it when we first saw them. You first saw them in Dallas, and then you went and saw them with me in Houston.
Yeah, why not? Fuck it.
Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
concerts they're only like 50, like it ain't nothing. $50, $60.
Yeah.
They're gonna be in the smaller venues. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I understand that, which is good because when we both saw them, it was a lot more intimate. You were able to get up close without any issues with the security, and plus, it was pretty good, because you're able to meet the stars backstage, or basically when not really backstage, but when they come out. Whereas an arena, you have to go through all these crowds of people waiting around to say hi to them. Whereas mostly security guards are pricks.
Yeah, it
But
was pretty old.
yeah, but the security that we had a conversation, a quick one, at the Houston show that they did. It was pretty affair, very decent.
Um,
And speaking of festivals, I sent you the link to this one set list and a show that I saw from the band Ministry. Now, you were interested in Ministry a while back when you first saw them with Rob Zombie, Alice Cooper, and
oh, years.
you wanted more details on the on this ministry, so I gave us some on a couple of music shows that we did before. But the one I sent you is really probably the most outstanding show that they did because they went back to the two first albums that they did in the 80s with Sympathy, which you asked about, and a Twitch from 1986. And these were songs that they did from those two albums that were not done live since the 1980s. You may remember 2 years later, after Twitch came out, that's when Al Jorgensen got his guitar and started cranking out songs like Deity, Stigmata, Thieves, So What, Burning Inside. That's when we went towards the hard rock direction, the heavy metal direction. In fact, I stated before that Ministry are kind of considered the pioneers or one of the pioneers of industrial metal. The other being, of course, Godflesh, who had their first record out in the same year The Land of Rape and Honey came out. 1988 to be exact.
All right, I sent you this article. This one's pretty good.
All right.
Um, Lawsuit over Kanye West King Crimson sample.
Yeah,
So
yeah, believe it or not, Kanye West had this song called Power, and it
is that
featured
new?
this. No, well, it came out a couple years back. I'm not too sure
All right.
what year it came out.
I'll consider that new. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Compared to like a 2007 Kanye West, or 2009
Yeah.
West,
It may have
whatever.
came out around that period or a couple years earlier. I got to look it up again. But
Now, baby, all I can need. You remember that song? All of the lights.
oh yes, I think I do it. That was played a lot on the radio.
That was Brown. Listen, we're 4 years into this new. Um, what would you call this? Decade
Yes,
or 2010 really wasn't that long ago, but that was 14 years ago. Can you believe that? Like
I
that,
know. Yeah, exactly.
like even 2010, I'd like to go back to rather compared to now with just the social aspect of people. And I mean, like comedy was still like funny and good. Like people liked comedy back then, you know what I'm saying? Like the roasts were hot. Like all these roasts were coming in 10 years ago. Like even like the lame 2000s Brown, I like to go back. I mean, I'm just talking just socially with people and just how people act, how people are politically. Like it was so much more better, bro. Like living in these times, Brown, it really is depressing. You know what I'm
I
saying?
know.
Like,
You know what? I couldn't agree more because back then people would have different opinions on a particular subject and still were able to hang out at a bar, play pool,
yeah,
have a few brews. But now I think what it is that with social media being on the uprise, mostly Facebook, all these people get on there, they express their opinions, and they're like, either you agree with me or you could remove yourself from my friends list.
exactly. Like it's depressing and like just even without the technology in the 2000s, because yeah, like in the 2010s, everyone had the cell phones, right?
Yes,
But, which they're cool and they help, but like socially, it was better. People went out. People like whether you did play sports or did some type of hobby, like people still do that now, Brown. You know what I mean? But
I do, yes. But it's not exactly the same because too many people's different opinions have taken over everything there.
yes.
Now, let's get back to the Kanye West story here that you sent me. Now, Kanye had a song called Power in which he sampled the main line from the King Crimson song 21st Century Schizoid Man. And it's actually mentioned throughout few pieces few times during the song. And I guess the members of King Crimson, mainly Robert Fripp, who owns the rights to that song, he was not too happy. I guess he contacted Kanye's lawyers, and I guess there was a dispute over that. I guess they finally settled it.
That's interesting. That I guess you can get permission and sample, but if you don't have permission, you get sued.
Yeah, exactly. Sampling has now become a privilege. You got to request first before you use it because so many lawsuits have occurred as a result of, this guitar riff being sampled, that drum beat being sampled, that song lyric being sampled. I mean, like, for crying out loud. I mean, like, let's not forget the Two Live Crew sampling Ain't Talking About Love for one of their songs, The Fuck Shop.
Really?
And he also started it with that song with the main opening riff from Sweet Child of Mine. Do 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 do. Now I'm surprised that Guns N' Roses have yet to respond to that, but I know Van Halen were not too pleased. But it's like now you have to, if you do sample, you also got to put it on the credit list of the songwriting details just as well. Samples listed on this album, and it goes down to which was used on that track. That's how it does it. That's let me that's how it's done nowadays. Many hip hop artists have been doing that for a long while, including P Diddy. And he's one of them, because God knows he did a lot of rip-offs and samples and inversions of various songs from the past.
So they settled. That means I wonder if the song is still available to hear, or if
I think you could find it here on YouTube. That's for sure. Just look up Kanye West Power, and you'll hear the sample outright directly.
I am still looking for more. That is interesting on that. You
Yeah,
know.
and
Oh,
also,
there's just more news coming in every time I check, Brown. This is I'm
all
sending you.
right,
This is crazy. Good stuff, though.
all
And
right,
I like to have a little piece about this guy.
mm-hmm,
Uh, We didn't really mention him, and I like to see him live. And I know it's going to be a little wild,
mm-hmm.
but the great Marilyn Manson is
Oh
back.
wow, oh wow,
He's he's doing opening shows for Five Finger Death Punch.
ah,
Now, don't have any Texas shows. Manson's not going to be in, and that's interesting. Um, Here anyway, but he's back,
oh, wow,
and
interesting. Does he have a
signed
new
a deal.
album coming out?
Yeah, he signed a deal with Nuclear Blast Records. You know,
Mm.
everyone dropped him.
I know his
Uh,
the label that he was on dropped him. A lot of people have canceled him out because of the charges that were brought on from Evan Rachel Wood, who he was engaged to.
and what happened with that stuff? Nothing. So he must have been.
Well,
Remember, he just
but he
did a
got
documentary on
persecuted.
him and everything. Remember that?
Yeah, but he got persecuted in a big way from the court of public opinion, no doubt about that. And a lot of times that court often outweighs the martial, the main court, the court of law.
Look at the Trump stuff.
Exactly, and that's what's going on right now with Trump. It's like one thing after another, one thing after another with this guy.
Have you ever seen Marilyn Manson live or no?
I actually did back in 1995, a year before
Yeah.
Antichrist Superstar broke big. He played at
Brian,
St. Andrews
yeah,
Hall.
I was too young. I mean, I remember the '90s. I remember listening, hearing all the song, a lot of the radio songs on the radio, Bush, Red Hot Chili Peppers, stuff like that.
Hmm.
But Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
But the '90s really did work great, right, Brown? Like,
Well, they
I
were
mean, yeah,
good.
you know.
Well, they were good, and in a way. But the problem is, there was too much of the three things that I previously mentioned. sensitivity, compassion, and understanding. Whereas
Really?
people, yeah, exactly. Well, here's and the reason why
90s, like, people were partying, though, like, in the 80s, like, people were partying and, like, having a good time and stuff, like,
they
music
were,
was big in
yes.
the yeah.
80, yeah, I was an 80s guy, no doubt about it. I mean, like, I had a lot of great stuff in the 80s, from Stone Furies, Burns Like a Star, some of the Iron Maiden albums, the Judas Priest albums, a couple
And
from Black
when you're
Sabbath.
an adult when you're an adult in the 90s, though,
Hmm.
Dr. Brown, like,
Yeah,
and I feel like things were just it was more simple in the 90s, like, whatever you may think, whatever. Sports was great, music was great, prices of things were good, right? I mean,
yeah, a
Bill Clinton
lot.
was it was a Democratic presidency, with Bill Clinton and later on in the 90s.
Yes.
But I mean, wrestling, for Christ's sakes, was the
Oh,
best it's ever.
wrestling was big, no doubt about that. The Monday Night
Like,
Wars.
even though the 90s can seem lame and cheesy, much like the 2000s, especially with fashion, right? I mean,
Hmm.
what were you wearing in the 90s, Brown?
Well, I
And
was
same
wearing
thing.
like I was wearing basically a lot of dark stuff, you know. I didn't have any flannel
See the
shirts.
flannel shirt?
I didn't really wear any flannel shirts, no doubt about that. My hair was extremely long, and I wasn't really into Pro Jam or the Chili Peppers. But and the reason being is because at the job I was working at the time, there was this one radio being played in the kitchen area that would be on the same station day in, day out. And this was a one of those stations that repeat the same things over and over and over and would drive me nuts. And this station, by the way, was probably one of the most chameleon type stations out there because when it originally started out in the mid 80s, it was a top 40 station. They play what was currently the hit music at that moment. Then somehow, at the start of the 90s, it later became So and So Jams, where they played a lot of hip hop, but the same stuff over and over, whether it's gin or juice, ain't nothing but a G thing. Then it became The Planet. And again, they would play the same stuff over and over, but this time from the alternative genre. And now I guess it's one of those stations where they play a lot of stuff like Old Wallflowers, Blues Traveler, to some of the artists that are out there today, which I give a
Fine.
rat's ass about. And
All right. So you see the. Oh, let me send you this article. This is worth mentioning too.
okay, yes, definitely.
This Led Zeppelin documentary.
Oh, really?
It's It's basically becoming. The title of it is called "Becoming Led Zeppelin," and it's been acquired for theatrical releases by Sony.
Hmm.
Which I'm guessing we're gonna see a Led Zeppelin doc at the movies.
Oh,
Is what it's
really?
saying. See the article here. Unless you here, let me read it. I'll knock it out.
Go
I'll
right
take
ahead.
it,
All right,
knock
there.
it out.
Good, good.
So, official Led Zeppelin documentary becoming Led Zeppelin acquired for theatrical release by Sony Classics. According to Variety, the official Led Zeppelin documentary Becoming Led Zeppelin has been acquired for release by Sony Classic Pictures, North America, Latin America, Southeast Asia, except for Japan,
Mhm.
the Middle East, and Bangladesh.
Wow, wow.
Bangladesh, Benny Luke's.
All right.
A work in progress version has been screened at the Venice International Film Festival in 2021. And now the completed cut features everything brand new sound mix, unearthed material, archives for all four band members. We have spent years designing this film to be experienced on the big screen. I mean, this is the ticket here. This is going to be a movie theater deal. This ain't gonna be no Netflix, gotta buy the app, gotta buy the service. This is a big damn deal, Brown. This
Wow,
is
so
huge.
it's going to be in the movie theaters only and not on these streaming TV
But
services.
let me finish the article, but um with that being said, Led Zeppelin are coming out to do a reunion tour in 2025, hitting only
Really?
only Florida and Texas.
Oh
So they're only
wow.
doing. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh man, I wish they would have reunited because I would love to see them live. It'll be
Never
my
do it.
first time,
Look,
yeah.
Robert Plant, he hates Led Zeppelin song. He doesn't like them anymore. He doesn't like singing them. That's why
Oh
he's doing
wow.
that crap with what's her name?
Alison Krauss.
Yeah, like that fucking bluegrass bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
But let me finish the article. We have Sony's Pictures partners because they are true believers in the theatrical experience. They keep throwing that theatrical thing in there because it's
Yep.
going to be in the theaters. Are passionate about giving us millions of Zeppelin fans a chance to see and hear them on the greatest screens and sound systems in the world, which they are. The
Hmm.
Bob Marley movie sounded great. It was like a concert, everything. It was
Yep.
great. The first clip of becoming Led Zeppelin, as well as a short interview with Led Zeppelin guitarist Jimmy Page about the documentary conducted by Fred. Film, radio, entertainment, and dialogue can be seen below. Speaking about his original goal for Led Zeppelin, Page said, I was looking for a band with four. I didn't want to have a band with just guitarists. The other guys are big players. There was just like bands like that. I wanted each and every musician to be equally as strong. So then when they came together, they would feel contribution by the others. Everybody is up in their game. I believe that the first album, the musicians Robert Plant, John Bottom, uh, John Paul Jones has never played at that level of intensity, quality they could play, but it all joins together into someone special, some reality, and that will shift your reality. McMahon said
Mm.
that press release with becoming Led Zeppelin, my goals was to make a documentary that looks and feels like a musical. I wanted to weave together the four diverse stories of the band members before and after they formed their group, with large sections of their story advance using only music and imagery, and to contextually relate the music with locations where it was created and the world events that inspired it. I used only original prints and negatives with over 70,000 frames of footage manually recorded and devised Phonacia sequences inspired by Singing in the Rain,
Mm.
layering unseen performance footage with montages of posters, tickets, travel to create a visual sense of the freneticism of their early career.
Wow, interesting. So it's going to be like probably the ultimate Led Zeppelin experience on the silver
Yeah,
screen, though it's a documentary. So he wants to
yeah,
make this documentary ultra special from what it looks like.
be very good. This is a big deal, you know.
All right, and to see it on the movie screen will both definitely make it more interesting as well. Which I guess what he wants to do in a way is what he wants to get people back into the movie theaters because with
Yeah,
all the streaming with all the streaming TV services that are out there, whether it's Hulu, whether it's Netflix, whether it's Apple TV or so TV, many people have not been going outside to watch the movies in the movie theaters. I think the last time was in a movie theater was back in Texas, and that was to see Star Wars 9. And there was hardly anybody in that theater. Hardly anybody. In fact, if I was going to ask Arknoy about doing a movie special movie, is this? Let me conclude myself. I was going to ask the question: is the movie theater dead because of all the streaming TV services that are out there? But if this whole thing works out, then most people will be back going to movie theaters once again. But the question is, with all the stuff that this man is adding to this documentary, would other filmmakers have to add the same kind of elements to the movies that they make, whether it's a romance or an action movie?
Brent,
Hey,
Brent, you want to join us on the music show here?
I actually met someone very special
hmm,
to my heart in music.
oh,
I actually was in Las Vegas,
hmm,
Nevada, for my birthday week when I was there. I went to a Prince tribute show and I got a chance to meet Prince's actual wife, his
Hmm.
actual first wife, Maite Garcia,
Oh
who was a
wow.
belly dancer in his band. Yeah.
Oh wow. Interesting because I remember he was married to her for many years, and I guess she later
And
dated
that
Tommy Lee.
you guys know that that is the pinnacle of my entire life. I love Prince and meeting his
Prince
wife was everything to me.
shows. It's good, right?
Yes, I went to a tribute show.
Yes.
And when I was in Vegas, I also got to see my boy,
More zero.
Chris Angels.
Yeah.
All right.
What? Are you
Ooh.
Chris
Yeah.
serious?
Angel.
I went to go see Chris Angels, Mind Freak,
Oh
in
wow.
Las
Yeah,
Vegas.
he
You got it.
resides in
What?
Vegas, does
What's your
shows
at
there.
No, it's
birthday?
Angel,
It was an
not
amazing
Angel.
show. It was an amazing show, guys. I loved it. I wish I would able to record it, but you can't. They don't allow phones in there.
Oh
Yo, we
yeah,
got some concerts
obviously.
to go to, Prince. You got to hit me up behind the scenes so we can go to some concerts together.
No,
Go
it's
ahead.
I
Angel,
got to,
not
dude.
Angels.
It was beautiful. Chris Angels, he's good. He is
Paul Free,
so good.
Free, what do you think about the band System of a Down? Like they only tour like
Oh,
they only play like festivals a couple times a year.
Um,
Like, what do you think about? You were ever into them?
can you hear me? Can you
Yes.
Yeah,
I like System.
of
I like
course.
System of a Down like early on. Like Arius was good. You know, Chop Suey. I like the early stuff. Even like Bounce is kind of like a deep cut, but no, I like their aggressiveness and their lead singer Surge is super unique. So no, I'm definitely into them for sure.
You were just going over like music news and stuff. Brown, did you see that Sebastian Bach deal?
yes, I'm looking at it right now. I was going to bring that up. It says like
He has new music out. I heard. I saw that. And he
hmm,
sounds better than ever. He sounds the same.
yeah, and he says in this
Another,
article, the days of my figure eight head banging are past me now.
yes.
Yeah, because I believe he's in his 60s, if I'm correct.
You can't sustain that, dude. I had to stop headbanging myself so intensely because I was getting serious neck issues.
Really?
It happens a lot. Yeah, Rick James actually had a condition as well. Maybe not from headbanging as much, but it was called rock and roll neck, and I
Mm.
definitely had that. I'm kind of recovering now a little bit. Been getting massages and shit, but it is a real thing. You don't want to be doing that.
Dr. Brown,
Wow.
you ever banging and stuff?
If I a couple of times when the club, whenever they played a great song that I enjoyed, that they had like
You at
a
the
few.
airport,
Yeah,
definitely.
exactly. But you got to remember, when you get older, your body ain't as strong as it used to be unless you do massive amounts of workout. So
I mean, I
you may
bob
you
my
may remember.
bang my head like ferociously, but I do bob my head with the rhythm of the beat for sure. Yes, I mean
Yes,
I
exactly.
can't just stand there at I'm my toes tapping like something's moving when there's music going on when I'm there. I mean
Yeah, no,
I'm
yeah.
there's
Same
You
thing
guys
something
with
gotta
me.
you guys gotta come to PA and see my band. Well, I mean, I don't really do as much anymore, but I have
that
clips of
best tour, bro. Do a little
what's
small
that? No,
and like
I have clips of me like going like absolutely insane. Like my first like appointment for like massages and shit to get this figured out. They first thing they asked me is, have you been in car crashes? And like it made me think I've probably been giving myself whiplash for like 3 years every night. It's crazy.
Yeah. I think
I listen to
I
that.
think you may remember Jason Newsted talked about the many
Yes,
Yes.
surgeries he had around his neck area because of the intense headbanging he did on stage when he was still with Metallica.
Yes, I actually read that as well. Yeah, Newstead had insane headbanging. I do some of the stuff he did too, which was not just back and forth, but he would do it in like a circular motion because he had super long hair. I had long hair too. When you
Yep.
get sweaty, I would do that as well. Dude, I did everything. I'd go on the ground, jump up and down like with a guitar, strapped around my neck. I do all kind of shit, man. Like absolutely, I really gave my body to rock and roll, but lately I've been trying to take care of it a little better.
Yeah, I agree as well because your body can only take so much,
Yeah, we are not robots, especially like, speaking just for me,
let
like
alone cyborgs.
I'm not, yeah, I don't have like huge traps or anything like that to prevent any serious injuries like some other people might.
I see. Yeah.
Like these
Um,
wrestlers, they can take bumps and bumps and bumps and get hurt over and over again, break their necks and shit. But a lot of it doesn't matter, or not as much because they have so much muscle mass. But musicians, I'm just a fat dude who plays music.
Wow.
Prince, tell us about your Las Vegas thing. Did you where was the concert? Like it was at one of those casinos there?
Yeah, he's Chris Angels is actually in a casino. Hold on, I got pictures if you need.
Dude, it's Chris Angel. It's not fucking Floral. What are you talking about? It's not Angels. You're like, I'm a huge fan. You don't even know his fucking name.
Yeah.
I said Chris Angels, man.
Did
Chris
anybody
Angel.
ever watch the TV show he had, Mind Freak, when it was
I
Yes.
on the
did.
air? Yes, I
Yeah.
watched it myself.
I don't know
Yeah.
how much of that is real or not, or they're camera tricks. I don't know. Like when you saw the show
It's
live,
all
it
tricks.
was
It's all he's talking about it all now. Like he does podcasts, he goes on podcasts and shit. He makes fun of people who try to act like that shit's real. Like Chris Angel is let the cat out of the bag at this point
why? Why'd he do that?
because everybody knows it's fake. It's like wrestling. How can you continue to just do kayfabe forever and act like it's real? You can't.
Send me some podcast. He fucking says that. I don't believe that shit. He really saying like a lot of that shit's like.
Yeah, because he was making fun of mentalists and shit. Like, if you remember, there's a guy named Randy or Ramsey. I think James Ramsey.
James
And
Randy, yes, I remember
and
him. Yes.
yeah, he used to offer $1 million to anybody who could, prove him wrong that mental powers were real. And Chris Angel was kind of like spearheading that sort of since James Randy is dead.
You may remember back in the day when James Randy was calling out this one supposed psychic with a mustache and a cerebral haircut, and I believe
Mm,
this was on the 1970 show. I forgot, it may have been That's Incredible or what it was, but
yeah.
he was definitely challenging this supposed psychic to the full max to see if it was actually real or not.
Yeah, check out. Yeah, if you YR Prince, if you haven't seen any clips of James Randy, definitely look him up. And I think Chris Angel is kind of like I said, he's spearheading that now, like
Yeah,
the anti-mentalist movement, which I think is absolute bullshit too. But they try and act like it's real. It's stupid. Nobody can speak to the dead.
exactly.
Nobody can bend spoons with their mind. It doesn't exist. Well,
Well,
speaking of music, though, the largest
Just confirming,
original
like, it's real. Prince really went to Vegas. He's sending pictures. This is crazy.
The
Wow.
largest original music festival in Pittsburgh is happening this weekend. So if you guys want to fly out and see a bunch of original music, it's all free this weekend. There's 2 days of it. It's gonna be sick.
What? Are you gonna be there?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be there. We have one of the prime spots, bro. It's gonna be packed.
If I ever did something like that to see your band, I would want you to let me hang out on stage, on the side though, in the back.
I mean, you can hang out with me. I'd bring you to like if we had a green room, or depends like where we're at. I'd let you hang out. What the fuck? Well, I wouldn't ignore you.
I mean, I'll be in the audience, but like I'm trying to hit that video on the side stage. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, dude, I'd give you full access, bro. You'd have no worries with any of that. I'm super cool about shit like that. Like one thing I do, especially getting more notoriety, like I never want to be an asshole or turn people away. Like I always want to make other people a part of it and share.
Yeah, sign my goddamn CD and everything, bro. Don't have an attitude.
I would never do. I'd sign a CD, dude. I'm super. I'm almost too nice to my fans, honestly.
Dr. Brad, would you buy one of Paul Three's band T-shirts for $25?
I would consider it. I got to see them first. Hope they'll come to Florida sometime soon.
Paul Three, you better hook us up with a couple free ones.
Dude,
Yeah,
I don't know about free T-shirts. I'd be getting pitched at from my other
Well,
bands or my
yeah. You
other
gotta
bands.
remember, you got to when you're in the band starting out, you got to
yeah,
make
but
as
like
much money as
you
you can.
get people to wear them in the first place, like it pays for
Well, we
itself
did that.
eventually.
We did that starting out. Like we really like a couple years ago when we first got shirts. Like we gave away fucking so many, and like the printer actually gave us a batch of 100 that weren't like perfect, and then did like another 100 for us for free. So we just gave out like all the unperfect ones. So
And
yeah, we have a
do
lot of that.
me and Brown like do me and Brown like 2 for 30 or something. What do you usually charge? $20?
I see. I'm not handling merch right now so much. I've kind of passed the buck a lot since we've been like growing a little bit. I think we're doing. I think 25. Yeah. And if
Jeez.
you buy if you buy a CD or something, we'll give you like a sticker or something. I'll ship for free. I don't
All
know. We
right,
have our a dude doing merch right now.
we can do that, Brown.
It sounds good.
I
And
hope
I'm
you
looking
guys like
at the
merch.
photos of Prince and Maite right now. I see this one here, and she still looks good. She does. So credit to her.
Dude, it was an honor to meet her. That was the highlight of my entire trip.
How did you
That
meet her?
was
You recognized her, or you went up to her? Or she was what? Like, how did you get?
when I went to go into the Prince Theater. First of all, my big sister, surprised me. Um, on the night that I thought I was going to go see Chris Angel's The Magic Show, she didn't tell me that she booked two shows. One show being a Prince tribute show,
Mm.
and the other night being Chris Angel's. But the first show I went to was a surprise. She didn't tell me anything, and she kind of set me up. She kept
Oh
telling
wow.
me when I was getting dressed, she was like picking my outfit out, and she kept saying, "I think you should wear the Prince shirt. I think you should wear the Prince shirt. Wear the Prince shirt." I'm like, "Why am I wearing a Prince shirt to Chris Angel's Mind Freak Las Vegas show? Like, why would I be wearing a Prince shirt to Chris Angel's show? Like, what the hell?"
Yep.
And I
Yeah,
come to
it's not
find out
plural.
there were
But
so
no.
many people. Like she spoiled the surprise because there was a long line to go to the Prince show. It was like a long line of people. And I asked the lady standing behind me, "What line is this? Is this for Mind Freak?" And then she kind of spoiled it. She was wearing all purple, and she goes, "No, this is the Prince tribute show line." And I was like,
So she
"What?"
basically told you it was going to be a another show, and it turned out to be a different one.
Yeah, she didn't want to tell me the surprise. And then she said, whether the surprise was spoiled for you, she kind of hinted, you might run into a surprise. You never know. And when I went inside the print show, as I'm going to my seats, the section that I was had these purple like ropes, like
Wait, wait,
VIP.
wait. Where did you sit? You're on like high up or far away or
No,
close?
she actually got good seats. My sister paid a lot of money. I don't know how to repay her. Actually, I did repay her for Mother's Day that Sunday. I got back. I left Las Vegas Saturday night. It's a 3 hour flight from Dallas, Texas to Las Vegas and back.
Mm.
3 hours.
Ah,
3 hours. Horrible plane ride. Very, very uncomfortable.
wow.
Plane ride
Really?
was shitty.
Interesting.
The plane ride was shitty.
It was hot there, right? In Vegas.
When I walked in, hold on. Let me tell Earl what happened. When I
Well,
All
tell
right.
me,
walked,
it was great.
man, let me explain to Earl. When I walked in,
Yeah.
it was me, my best friend, and my brother who went to the show. My sisters, they went to their show. They went to go get liquor. And we get get drunk in
Yep.
Vegas and
Boozed up.
gamble.
Yeah.
As women do, want to get drunk and gamble. So my two other sisters, they went to go get liquor. They dropped me, my brother, and my best friend, who I took to go see the Prince show.
Yep.
I kid you not, Earl YR and Paul 3. I walk in, and this is how you know I have great eyes. I have great eyes and great detail on what I want. Everybody's decked out in their Prince stuff. I didn't recognize Maite at first. I recognized her mom from seeing her in previous Prince videos. Her mom, her birthday, yes, her birthday
Mm.
was that night,
Oh
and
wow.
no one even knew that her mom and Maite were like attended. Like they didn't even announce it until after the show. But as I'm going to my seat, she was the first row. I was the fourth row on by the stage. And then her manager was like, he was a dick.
Oh, really?
I just like walked past as I'm going to my seat. I said, "Miss, are you Maite Garcia?" And she said, "Yes." And I freaked out. I freaked out right then and there. I
Wow.
literally lost my shit right then and there. And I gave her a hug. I said, "I love what she's doing. She looks great." Earl, and I tell you, she smells
What's she
so.
doing, by the way, at this moment here? Is she what kind of career does she what kind of
Well, they
career
didn't
does
allow.
she
They used
have?
to allow to
She's
the
still
press.
doing her belly
They
dancing, and she's doing dog rescuing. She rescues dogs.
Oh wow,
Yeah, she's
animal
no Sheila.
rescue.
She's no
Nice.
Sheila E, bro. Sheila E's way better than her. Fuck that bitch.
Paul 3 has a point there because remember, Sheila E is also a drummer as well as a highly respected percussionist.
Dude, she let me
She drummed.
in.
She played with Prince on the
I love
drums on
Sheila.
one of his
She's
earlier
fine.
European
She's beautiful.
tours.
That's the next person I want to meet is Sheila E. She's gorgeous.
Yo, dude, she's even. I like her now. I'm into that older look, dude. I don't know, something about her. She looks like a Latino mom, like gonna make me some fucking homemade
Okay,
chicha right now.
so let's rate Prince's women proteges up to now. For example,
Finish the story though.
Apollonia.
Finish the
Apollonia is fine too, and she's still fine to this day.
Apollonia, I agree there. We can't mention Vanity because she died previously before Prince did in
Yes, she
2016.
did.
Yeah,
Denise Matthews, yes, Denise Matthews did.
yeah, and
Brown.
yeah.
Brown, you think Prince is the Illuminati?
What's up?
Was Prince in the Illuminati, Brown?
This Prince here?
Hey, whoa.
He was too short. He was too short for the Illuminati, bro. There's a measurement.
Brown.
Yes.
You think Prince, the singer Prince, was in the Illuminati?
Not for I understand. From what I remember from Minnesota Silver Roll Hunter telling me on a show that they tried to get him into that league, but he kept refusing them left and right. And I guess apparently according to some sources, underground sources I should say, that apparently they did something to him to cause his death. But then,
Yeah, because
then we could be wrong about that.
joined too late. He joined too late.
Dude, Prince was only 5'2". Like he's almost a midget.
Oh shit!
Which
President
explains
Bi-
why he always wore those high heels shoes that he wore on stage and such.
Yes. Hey, Biden and Trump's are debating in June. It's confirmed.
All right, let's go
That's
check
now,
it out.
bro. June 27th and September 10th.
Yo, you know what tomorrow is, and I might go to it.
What?
It's crazy. It's crazy. But at this place where they're gonna have the boxing match for Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, they're gonna have Jake Paul and Mike Tyson like a media deal there with those guys, and it's free for the public.
Oh wow.
I like to film the fuck out of that, but
If that fight is real, Jake Paul is gonna kill Mike Tyson.
I'm gonna go to. I'm gonna try to hit that, bro.
I know. Okay, so who do you think is gonna win in this fight? Tyson or Paul?
Definitely Tyson for sure.
All right.
No, if it's real, Jake Paul is gonna kill him, dude. Jake Paul is 27, Mike Tyson's 57. Young person's strength is far outweighs old guy's strength.
What?
Yes, every time. Mike Tyson's gonna get killed, dude. If it's real. Just wait. I'm telling you.
I think Prince is a Mike Tyson guy, but he just came from Vegas, just like the Hangover movie, which Tyson was in.
Jake Paul is younger and bigger than Tyson right now, dude. He's gonna kill him.
Are really gonna have like a winner out of that though? They shouldn't have a winner. They should have like a
No, they need a winner. It's gonna be on everybody's official record, apparently. I heard. So.
Yeah, if Tyson keep in mind if Tyson loses this fight, this could cause a lot of grief from the media because this is his first fight in how many years?
There's gonna be a part 2. Like they're gonna do that, so he's gonna win.
Mm.
Dude, it's gonna be staged. It's all about getting boxing back in the
So
mainstream.
if LeBron went against Michael Jordan right now on 1-on-1, who would win? When you talk about
basketball's a different game. Basketball's a different
talk
sport.
about the greatest of all times. In anything, they're the best, bro. No one can beat them if they're still active.
I think Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time, but again, age plays a factor. Not being active in the sport for like 20 fucking years is also a factor. So
no,
Yeah.
all three. Tyson, bro, come on.
No, Tyson's not going to win, bro. Fighting is way different than playing basketball. Way different.
Well, I'm gonna try my hardest to go to that damn thing. To be honest.
I don't know too many 57-year-old people who could beat up a professional boxer in his late 20s. Tyson's almost 60.
He's not even that good of a boxer. That's what everyone says. Oh.
Yeah, he's strong as fuck, bro. Like he still can he still has punch power.
Yeah, he could still intimidate people on airplanes when he gets unruly.
Real boxer. the best boxer ever he's going against now. So we'll see. Like he didn't have good opponents before. That was all the
Yeah, but
chatter.
what
Remember?
about?
Hey, hey,
Let me throw
I'll
this in
take
there. What
Jake.
about?
Brothers fan. I'm a fan of both of the brothers and what they're doing with
I'll
everything.
take Jake Paul. I'll take Jake Paul fighting on an airplane over Tyson raping a girl years ago.
Oh boy.
Come on, man.
So,
So you want to talk
Brent,
about shit like
well,
that?
while we're talking about Mike Tyson, what about one of the other boxing icons, Muhammad Ali?
Greatest of all
yeah,
time.
Dr. Brown, so he can't do. Come on.
Ali would have beat Tyson
Yeah.
easy. He would have fucking shucked and jived until he wore Tyson
Funny how
out.
you said that.
What?
That's funny how you said that.
Brent, why
What?
does the security of what's her name like get mad at you because you're talking to her?
No, the management team did. The manager was there.
Hmm.
There's a
And he
lot of
just gave me
psycho.
like the weirdest. He gave me like the weirdest side eye, like the most weirdest, the sadistic side eye. He was looking at me like, is he going to be one of those crazy fans that loses his fucking mind and where we have to like escort him out of the fucking building? And I was calm, like I was calm. And what shocked him the most, Earl, you're gonna laugh. What
Yeah.
shocked him the most is I gave him a hug.
What?
He was like,
Really
"What the fuck?"
interesting.
It's like, "What the fuck is wrong with this guy?" Yeah, I
Don't
even
do
gave him a hug.
that. Don't do that. It's weird.
Huh.
Stupid as fuck.
Do you know who the manager was though? Like it was Prince's
He
manager.
he's
Or
actually
Maite's manager.
he actually owns. Well, he's the head and chief over at Paisley Park, Prince's estate.
Oh,
Oh shit! So they must be like
Yeah, he was there.
they
He was
must
there
be
because
like
anything they do
they
regarding
must be like
Prince, he's
there.
going to be
It
there.
must be like they must be a part of the tribute or like get a share of the
or the
fund.
organizers, or maybe they do get a
Yes,
profit
yes.
It has the
because it is
blessing
his
from Prince's
music.
estate. Listen,
Because
listen
hold
to
on,
this.
guys. At the tribute
Let Prince
show,
speak, guys.
I think the reason why that man was there, the head of Prince's estate at Paisley Park was there, is because at the tribute show they play all of Prince's original music.
Yeah,
And you know
that's
how
it.
Prince was very protective of his music. So I think the Prince tribute show has permission to play songs like Dove's Cry, Kiss, all of Prince's catalog.
listen.
It sound like
I don't want
That's
to cut you off.
true. Yeah, yeah.
Listen,
Keep that in
listen. I don't want
mind.
to cut you off.
Paul
I
three doesn't understand that. So
listen. I have inside information. I actually just played and befriended a Doors cover band. Listen, a lot of these tribute bands, rather, they're getting the blessing from the estates to actually play the music. So it wouldn't surprise me. This Doors band that I played with, and they're really cool guys. They're actually using the actual keyboards that Ray Manzarek used,
kidding me?
and
Wow, interesting. That's
yeah,
Yo,
cool.
what's the
it's
name of the
insane.
band?
The Ultimate Doors. They're really cool. When I met the singer,
Another
check
one
out
Interesting.
now.
out.
Really cool guys.
That's
So yeah,
great.
a lot of these tribute bands are getting blessings from the actual estates and shit. So it makes perfect sense what you're saying.
Yeah. Obviously, because the actual bands themselves are unable to go on as the bands because obviously, a couple of members are dead, and I
The
guess
Eagles, that shit. The Eagles, Don Henley don't allow tribute bands. Like they sue their assholes about it. But
really.
There's
yeah,
a big one around here. There's a big one in my area, YR, that's super popular. They're called Desperado, I think. They play all
Ah,
around.
interesting.
no, I mean they're still out there. But I'm saying like if you try to record shit or try to advertise, like they come after you. You know what I'm saying? Because all these bars pay a fee to the rights group owners of these song of the whatever, right?
Have you guys been following the drama with the Guess Who by any chance?
Yes. Did you see that,
Yeah,
Brown?
yeah. I heard a little bit about it. What's going on with them?
So Burton Cummings, the
I think
legendary singer, founder, songwriter of the Guess Who, is attacking the current band because it's one of these bands, sort of like the Little River Band or Atlanta Rhythm Section, where they go out and they basically just have the name. So
but it's
it's
no
like
original members.
correct, and
Oh
they're
my
and the
gosh, tribute
advertising.
band. That's what they often call them, tribute bands.
Yes, and the advertising they're using, the actual recordings with Burton's
Hold on,
voice.
that's a different thing, Brown. No, tribute bands is its own pond. These bands that can actually use the name, but they don't necessarily. It's
yeah, like it is a tribute, but it's not like they don't market it as a tribute. They market it as that
As
real
the
band.
actual group, and that's that's a pettiest thing of all to do it
Wow,
because it gives to the
like
people the impression that this is
Foreigner,
a real group.
like Foreigner Brown.
I know, yeah. Mick Jones doesn't usually show up at some of the gigs because of his health issues, but yet it's the band named Foreigner, even though there's no original members left in the
Quiet
group.
Riot, Quiet Riot.
I know, other than, I mean, like, yeah, Rudy Sarzo's back in the group, but he's not the original bass player.
No, he's not. And I opened for them actually too. Rudy was super, super cool. And I found out late that the drummer is Johnny Kelly of Typo Negative, which I'm a huge
What?
fan of. So I didn't,
Mm,
yeah, I didn't even really get to meet him there at the time. I wish I could have, because I actually like Typo Negative way better than Quiet Riot.
mm. Oh, yeah, a lot of people, gosh. Will there be a Typo Negative tribute group coming out soon?
Yes.
Uh,
Mm.
that'd be cool.
Joe Cronin likes that band.
Yeah, of course, yeah. A lot of goth kids like that band because it leaned towards the traditional goth side with Peter Steele's Dracula-like vocals.
Prince, you want to finish your Vegas story?
So, like I said, he was there, I guess, to manage, like as Earl said, manage like all the funds and stuff like that, and
Yes,
souvenir. Like, they had like a gift shop. They had pictures. They even
merchandise.
had, when I walked in, forgot to put this in here. When I walked in, this is really cool. When you walk in, they have other celebrities in there, but when you go to the Prince tribute show, as I did to the Chris Angels, they literally have this as soon as you walk in. I think it's really funny how they have this in there. I'm like, why the first thing you see when you walk into the Prince tribute show is a statue buff who's actually in the same height as him? It's funny. It's funny as hell to me how that happened. That shit was hilarious.
Um, Paul three,
They
can
had
you
like a buff
talk about the
of him.
Angels deal, please?
That's funny. It was weird.
My question,
It was
well,
so.
I wanted to throw this out there. Was
You're on mute,
any,
asshole.
was there any members of Morse Day in the time in attendance for this show?
Yes, yes, there
Hmm.
was. Yes, there
Because
What?
I'm,
was.
yeah, because I
Touring too?
remember there was an
Wow, they're
issue.
touring too. More stay in the
They had
time. They're
performance
touring.
of. They had performance of Morris Day in the Time, and Vanity Six, like the whole game. But like it's impersonators. They're doing it. Like they're not
Oh,
the real.
obviously, yes. I kind of figure with the for the impersonators because right now I guess Morse Day is at a dispute over the name, the time, or Morse Day and the time, and I guess the Princess State is trying to prevent that from happening. I remember I mentioned on one of our earlier music shows.
But it was really good, and she was happy that I paid a lot of respect to her mom and said happy birthday, Maite's mom. I gave her a huge hug, her mom, and I told Maite, her but late great former husband was my entire whole world. Like I adore Prince. I love what he stood for. I love his music. The man was like the pinnacle of music. Like you can't tell me Prince was not a great musician and a great
Prince
guitarist.
was a great musician, but he's
He
so
was.
overrated, bro. He's crazy overrated, like
Uh,
insane. He got
Paul, why
Prince
is
is
that
not at the
though?
level.
Paul,
Prince is
why is
not at the
that?
level of a McCartney, of a Lennon, of a even a Ray Davies, dude. He's not at
Why
that
did he
level
was
of
so
like
good at playing guitar, but why didn't they give
prolificness, in
that man
my
his
opinion.
respect, Paul? Why didn't they give that man his respect?
yeah, Paul asshole 3.
Damn.
Respect him.
Okay, so here's the situation with Morris Day. He
Like Jake,
claims that the Prince estate barred him from using
I just
the
feel like he's
time.
overrated, bro. There's a million guitar
I'm
players better
speaking,
than Prince.
guys. I'm reading the article.
There's a million guitar players better than Prince. He wasn't.
I mean, Slash is a great guitar player from Guns N' Roses. He's good.
David Gilmour, Eddie Van Halen, Jimi Hendrix. I mean, like Richie Blackmore.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't come from my head, please. Don't do it.
There's. I'm never saying who's better than Prince. I'm saying all of them are equally superior.
Well, yeah, but they left Prince. They never gave him his credit. Like he was good. They never
He
really like
was. I
Carlos
know that.
Santana.
Yes. All right, there. Here's an article about Morse Day and the Prince estate issues between them. The disagreement appears to hinge on the 1982 agreement between Morse Day and Prince himself over about the ownership of the name The Time. The information that he shared is not entirely accurate, the estate said in response to Morse Day. Morse Day,
Right.
the singer from The Time, the Prince Protege band, shared a social media post claiming that the Prince estate has prohibited him from using the band name The Time, or in this case,
What?
Morse Day and The Time, in any situation. The estate has since issued a denial, saying it was surprised and disappointed, and days not entirely accurate in this statement. Quote, given Prince's long-standing history with Morris Day and what the estate thought were admissible discussions, the Prince's estate was surprised and disappointed to see his recent post. The Prince's estate statement reads, the estate is open to working provocatively with Morris to resolve this matter. However, the information that he shared is not entirely accurate. Day's team has since shared the Prince Estate's initial letter from December with Billboard. Attorneys for the estate reportedly took issue with Day's attempt to trademark the name Morse Day and the Time and cited an alleged 1982 agreement that Prince's company would own the rights to the name. According Accordingly, Mr. Day has no right to use or register the Time name in any form. The December letter reads, quote, that includes use and registration of the trademark name Morse Day and the Time. The letter reportedly threatened legal action to block Day's trademark attempt. Morse Day's team called the Prince Estate's characterization of the 1982 agreement inaccurate, saying the written agreement between the parties gives us our client the exclusive right to continue as Morse Day and the Time and is consistent with Prince's long-standing consent, according to attorney Richard B. Jefferson. So I guess right now Morse Day is fighting to get that name to tour under
That's why
that
they call it
name.
the music business.
Yeah, which is sad because this has kept Morse the actual Morse Day from actually touring with his old bandmates. And what do we got?
Yeah,
Yep,
that's the business for you, man. There's a lot of corrupt shit, and I guess you can blame
I know.
the people in Prince's team for kind of like blocking that sort of shit.
You know what?
That's fucked up.
Oh, here's something else. The name Steppenwolf, the band. It's John. Usually, it's John Can Steppenwolf. He owns the rights to that name. I guess the deal was that the other members of Steppenwolf went out as Steppenwolf without John Kay. John Kay was furious over that. In fact, what he did is he got together with his lawyers and I guess with the other members of Steppenwolf. And I guess according to one of the other members, they signed some papers which they should not have signed, giving John Kay full ownership of the Steppenwolf name. So John Kay owns everything related to Steppenwolf,
Good. Well,
including
I
with the
think John Kay
percentage of
deserves it. Honestly,
what up? You think John Kay what? I couldn't hear.
I think John Kay was the brains behind Steppenwolf. I think he deserves it. I mean, he's a genius.
Yeah, maybe so. There, you got to keep that in mind.
Oh, can you hear me? Sorry, I said John. I think John Kay deserves it.
John Kay, yeah. Well, John Kay is a big figure in the '60s rock and roll genre. There's no doubt about that. In fact, it fits to say that he was one of the pioneers of heavy metal with the style of stuff that he was doing with the group at that time, like Suki Suki, Rock Me. Of course, the main two songs that we know by heart, one of them being, of course, Born to Be Wild, the other being The Pusher.
Magic Carpet Ride.
Yep, that was a good one there.
There's a deep cut I love. It's called "It's Never Too Late." I
Hmm.
love that song. If you're looking for a deep
Nice.
cut, it's definitely a great
Cool.
one.
All right, is Wire still there?
Yeah, make listen.
There you are, dude. There you are, dude.
Love's Cry. It's a good song by Prince, by the way. You ever heard that one, Earl?
Oh,
Love's
I
Cry.
heard it when it first came out back in 1984.
Changed the game, didn't it?
Well, keep in
Yep.
mind
You
that
ever
the
heard it?
song, I have heard it many times. Keep in mind that song has no bass guitar in it.
No, it doesn't. He took the bass out and he said no one's gonna believe this shit, and he was right.
Yep, and it did.
I mean, the way it
Because,
goes, dun 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 dun, dun 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 dun, dun, like that. That's a classic and a
yeah, I
hit.
know.
Dun,
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, When Doves Cry is great.
You know what's kind of funny?
Little
My
Red
sister
Corvette.
took me to see Purple Rain when a long while after it came out, and she said that the crowd in the theater was dead because she saw it before, and everybody in the movie theater was getting up and dancing and shit.
You know, he wrote Manic Monday. It's one of my favorite songs.
For the Bangles, yes.
I wish it was Sunday. Oh,
Did you
that's
guys
right.
did you guys agree with the decision to call himself that symbol throughout most of the 90s after he kind of pushed the
He
princess
got
prince
into a problem
got
with his
what
record
up?
label.
What's up?
He got into a problem with his record label, so he had to do
Yeah,
that.
I know, yes,
I
I
love
know.
I
Let's
love that
not
he did
forget the
that. I think
time he
that's
had
great.
Slave on one of his cheeks. I guess the record label wanted him to continue making hit records as Prince, another Little Red Corvette, or another When Doves Cry, or another hit song
Rain,
like
something
Kiss and stuff.
like that.
That's it. That's
Like, they told him to make
expected from
that
the record
label
label.
do it.
Does anybody know who Medicated Pete is from Howard Stern?
The Who?
His name's Medicated Pete. He's on Howard Stern. Do you know him at all?
No, I do not know.
Okay, yes, a lot of Howard Stern fans would know him, but his shtick is singing Purple Rain like he's
Oh yeah.
singing on the Tonight Show and all kind of shit like that. But
Ah,
he showed up at one of my band's shows and we did an impromptu Purple Rain with him. That was the only time I
nice. All right.
kissed him or a Prince song.
Right.
Huh.
Yeah, I didn't know if you're a super fan of like Howard Stern. I didn't know because a lot of you guys might be in the radio and shit. But yeah,
Howard Stern he's all right.
Yeah.
he was great. Now he's a douche
And
now.
Earl, you look like Howard Stern.
I know a lot of. I cannot tell you how many times people used to say I look like Howard Stern back in Michigan throughout a good portion of the 1990s.
You, you.
Because and a couple of times almost got into fights with some of these douchewads over that.
Dude, Howard Stern's a legend. Well, I mean, if you take everything from like 2012 and back, like Howard Stern was gold. But like ever since then, he's a bitch now.
Yeah. So I guess that move to Sirius XM was not a good idea altogether, because it kind of
Well,
like
I
took
mean,
out.
it was great. It was great when he first started. Now he's a pussy.
I know.
Like
Well,
talks about his
a
politics
lot of
and shit.
people have said that before. Exactly. Remember Mancow?
Yep, man. Oh
Yes.
my god, dude.
Dude,
Haven't heard that name forever.
there was a FM talk station that would rebroadcast his morning shows late at night around 11 p.m. Used to listen to that all the time. I remember the characters they had on it. Turd, what's that black guy's name? It was the same name as the weatherman from the Today Show, but this character they had was like all
Welker.
pro
Welker.
black. Let's see. He had a couple other people on it as well there. I guess he had this dude named Freak who was a heavy metal guy.
Yeah, they had Abe Cannon later on, was who is really funny. His name's Abe Cannon, and he's like a big metal rock fan and shit. And he
Yes.
actually went to Howard stations, or yeah, he has two stations on Sirius, and he had a
Mhm.
show on one of those stations. I think he defected from Mancal and went to Stir
Oh wow, interesting. That's something.
years.
That may have
Yeah,
been
Abe
Freak, by
Cannon,
the way.
maybe.
All right.
Then my the dude you're talking about, Roker, the guy, his
Al
name
Roker.
Al.
Yes, exactly. I know. Yes.
There's Abe Cannon still talks to Roker. They do like a show. They did a show called the Slob Show for a while where they reviewed like fast food. I think they retired it though.
Mm.
Jay Thomas was another one. I used to listen to the Jay Thomas show all the fucking time. He was
Wow,
that was
interesting.
cool.
I remember there was this one local guy. He called himself Bill Thomas. He used to listen to him a lot of times on AM radio when I was still in Michigan throughout some of the 90s.
Yeah, radio went to hell, bro. I was
I know.
like I said, I
I have
used
not
to.
listened to radio in God knows how long because
It's terrible.
one, the stuff they play on it nowadays is all this twinkly twinkly sugar coated shit, and now
Mhm.
it's just like it's just not what it used to be.
No, the rock stations just play the same shit over and over
It's
again. You know what the
classic
fuck?
rock stations now. It's like
Yeah.
now mostly the rock and roll that's out there. It's like I think what it is that one station started becoming classic rock, then the others will soon will follow, and it's like it's so on, it's so on, it's so on. But the thing is, if you're really classic rock, then you at least play a couple of things or a couple of songs that are a lot more deeper than the stuff they usually play, but they won't. They got to stick with the same old more than a feeling, the same old peace of mind, the same old feel like making love, or
We have a
this.
pretty good station here in Pittsburgh. It's called WDVE, and they're like legendary, and they play a lot of good shit. They actually play a lot of local bands and promote stuff like that. But you know what's funny to me is the oldies stations. Like 20 years ago, they were playing 50s. Now the oldies stations are playing 80s music. I'm like, holy shit!
Yeah.
They're playing like Hall and Oates. I'm like, what?
Oh wow.
Yeah, weird.
Heck, that's something there. I guess you'll
Yeah,
station. I guess for a while stations got to find their niche audience, and so they have to convert from one genre into another.
yeah. Just all that generation of people listening to 50s music is not they're dying out kind of thing. It's not as popular, and you got the 80s, Hall and Oates, the just like the bubblegum shit, even like Culture Club, stuff
Yep.
like that from the 80s that's getting played on the oldies stations now. And it's
Yep.
like blowing my mind.
I know
I used
that.
to love, I like Culture Club, dude. Culture Club is underrated. They have some
Oh,
good songs.
and well, at least the members of that group are still alive. Thank goodness. I guess
Boy George
they.
is lucky to be alive.
I know exactly. I heard about that situation. The addict that he was during the mid '80s when he got into that heroin bullshit.
Yep. He lost his voice and everything. It took him a long time to like be able to
He
sing
also
again. But
lost his passport to the U.S. He was denied for a few years until he got his visa back.
they have a lot of great songs though. Time, Clock of the Heart, I'll Tumble for You. There's a couple of like deep cuts I like. There's one called Stormkeeper.
Hmm.
It'll blow your mind. You'll be like, this is Culture Club? What the hell?
Yeah.
They had some good shit, bro.
All right there.
He was such a great singer.
Speaking of which, did you believe in your heart that Boy George was indeed gay?
I think so, yeah. I thought he came out with all that.
And we kind of figured it when he first started in the scene there, because no regular guy would even dress up like that, the way he did back in the day. But the fact that he was secretly dating the drummer of the group,
Hmm.
yeah, John Moss was his name, and I guess
Yep.
Moss wanted to keep it a secret. He didn't want to come to terms with it because they were afraid that if you came out as gay back then, you'll be rejected, you lose your audience, you will lose your spot. the same reason Rob Halford had to take 22 years later on to come out of the closet. And
Yes,
especially,
I've
you
heard
also got
that.
to remember he was a heavy metal singer, and back
Mhm.
then, heavy metal and homosexuality were not ever to mix together.
So true, dude. And it's crazy too. Like Freddie Mercury, he
Yeah,
kind of like went to his grave without ever coming out too. It's wild. He's like
exactly.
an
Well,
icon.
well, they said that he may have been a bisexual because you may remember he dated one named Jane Austen for a good number of years. In fact, I guess
Love
she
of
got
my
most of the
life.
I guess she got most of the estate after his passing.
That's who the song "Love of My Life, Don't Leave Me" is about. I think.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Great song.
All right.
One of the greatest albums of all time, dude, is Queen 2. I can listen to that anytime, any day,
Well,
know all the songs.
my favorites have to be Jazz from '78 with Fat Bottom Girls on it, Bicycle Race, Don't Stop Me Now. I had that on
Mhm.
vinyl. If you ever find it on vinyl, hopefully it would have that poster of all the naked chicks on the bicycles included. You ever saw that poster?
No, I know I've never had that one on vinyl, and that was always one for me that was like, oh, this is later Queen, type of thing. So I never really cared to like know. I know the hits on it, but I was never like, I like the early shit, Queen 2, Night at the Opera, shit like that.
I see. Yeah. Yeah, the thing was they included this poster. I guess it was a nude bicycle race featuring all these women on there, and I guess it was big poster of all the females on their bikes in the buff where before the bell would sound, and I guess somebody made that into a poster, and it was
That's great.
included in the actual album.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's like I love vinyl, dude. You can get weird shit like that with vinyl all the time.
yeah.
I have a copy of Sticky Fingers with like a zipper on it on the
Oh,
front of
really?
it.
The actual
It's
zipper?
yeah, yes, yeah, it's insane.
Good. That's a collector's
Yep,
item. If it what is it the original or the reissue?
it's the original. It is.
Ah,
We've had it
nice.
for
That's a
years in the
collector's
family.
item and a half. I guess right now, with all the new vinyl releases that are coming out, they're coming out with the original album covers. They did that with Beggar's Banquet with the toilet
Mhm.
originally, and whereas in the past it was just a plain white cover and the title of the album and the band in cursive writing. And also
Yeah.
they also released the original Street Survivors album cover from Leonard Skinner, where the
Oh,
band is
okay.
walking around when the city's in flames. And the reason they changed that was because this album came out after the plane crash they had in '77, and
Right.
one of the members, Steve Gaines, was
Mhm.
it looked
Guitar
like he
player.
was engulfed in flames. And
Yep.
I
Guitar
guess
player, right?
record label figured, like not very appropriate. So they just used a different shot of the band with a all black background for the cover.
That is some, dude. I've always known the flame cover, so that's okay. Yeah, okay. I'm looking at the with. Yeah, yeah. And okay, now it's coming back to me. Yep. What's your name, dude? You got that right. Oh my
Yep.
god.
Remember
What
those
was the
songs?
first? What's your name? I love you got that right, dude. Steve Gaines was actually a co-writer on that one. He sings
Yeah.
on it too. That is a great fucking song.
All right. Speaking of which, speaking of bands without any original members, the only original member remaining is their drummer Artemis Pyle, and he's not been involved in God knows how many years. Do you think it's time for Leonard Skinner to hang it up without any original members?
I mean, yeah. After Gary Rossington died, I was like, they should just close shop. This is getting embarrassing. Like,
Yeah,
I
it
don't
is.
know.
I
It's
in a
sad.
lot of ways I would agree on that, but however, you also got to keep in mind that Leonard Skinner still brings in the money. They still bring in the crowds. They still bring in the fans.
Hmm.
There are many people out there who still enjoy hearing those songs played live. So
You get to see Ricky Medlock play guitar too.
yeah, yeah. Credit to Ricky Medlock because I remember him when he was the singer guitar player for the band Blackfoot, Highway Song,
Hmm.
Train Train,
Yes, sir.
Tomcatton. Yeah,
Good shit. I wonder if they do a highway song or anything like that. That'd be cool at a Skinner show. Just on a
It'll be
repeat.
interesting. I've yet to hear any audio footage of that, but if they do it occasionally, it'd be most interesting.
That'd be good, dude. Those songs deserve to be played. Those
Yeah,
songs need out there stuff. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah, but it's a tough call. You know, it's still it's bringing in money. It's probably going to a lot of the Van Zant family and all that. So I mean,
yeah.
you could argue that it's
The
at
Skinner
least in the
estate as
family.
well.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Johnny Van Zant isn't the greatest singer, but he does a good job out there as a front man. And
yeah, he does.
you know, if it brings people happiness and they're not completely shit, then hey,
Yeah.
keep it going, I guess.
You know what? I remember Johnny Van Zandt had this solo song called "I'm a Fighter"
Mm.
that for a while was the theme song for Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
Ooh, he
It
had
was,
a hit too. Years was that the hit? Was that his hit?
I think that may have been one. I know the video featured Marvelous Marvin Hagler featured in it.
Mhm.
I guess the idea was they'll bring boxing into the mainstream. Well, I guess he wanted to bring boxing out like the way pro wrestling was brought up by Cyndi Lauper.
Right, right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did have a hit. It was called Brickyard Road. Is the one I
Mm.
remember. Uh, that's a great fucking song. I'm pretty sure it's about like Skinner and the plane crash and
Yes.
remembering and everything like that. But yeah, that's the song Brickyard Road, which is interesting. Michael P.S. Hayes, the
Oh
legendary
yeah.
wrestler, he
Yeah.
did a song called Freebird Road, which is basically that song with different lyrics. So
Oh, you
both
gotta
great
check
songs.
out Bad Street USA. I remember seeing the original
Oh
video for that on one of the wrestling shows. That's a
yeah,
badass of a song.
dude, it is. It's one of the
It
greatest of
is.
all time as far as
Exactly.
wrestling goes. Love it.
All right, there
Love
is.
that shit.
Is Prince still on the call by chance?
No, he left.
No,
I'll
no,
say
he.
bye.
All right, sir. So it's YR. I guess he muted himself. YR, you still there, bud?
Here, I'm listening to y'all speak, bro.
We didn't know.
God,
We didn't
You're
know.
on the show too.
Christ.
Really
Hello?
Well, hello, we're here. Uh,
I want you. Is that the rest of the news?
I
Did
guess
we get
that's
all
a.
that?
I guess we got everything out in the open there.
Did you hear Brian Wilson has dementia?
Oh, we
The
knew
Beach
that
Boys.
for past couple years, no doubt about it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's official now. Like they basically have like said it. Like his wife died recently, and
Mm,
uh, famous producer Joe. Well, only in the Beach Boy realm, famous producer Joe Thomas,
mm.
who worked with Brian Wilson very closely, and the Beach Boys on their reunion 10 years ago, which I saw that tour, and it was like a religious experience for me. It was incredible. But he also died, and the Wilson, Facebook page, they didn't even post anything about it. But I think they're
Wow,
trying to protect. I think they're trying to protect Brian at this point or something. I don't know, man. It's weird.
wow,
Yeah,
interesting.
it's sad. It's sad. He's such a fucking legend. He's struggled for like so much of his life, and yeah, he just doesn't look like he's there at all. I saw him in concert in 2021, and I'll always say it was the saddest concert I've ever been to. He just sat there. He didn't play one note on the piano, and he hardly sang. It was so sad.
Wow. What do you
Yeah, he
think?
came out with
How
in a
how did
walker.
he? How did he get this way in terms of the antics that he did back in the day, around the 70s and 80s? There was it too much drugs or was it a lot of abuse? Because I remember that was one of the key factors in the direction he went years on down the line.
Yeah, well, in the late 60s, he was doing LSD and shit like that, which can, if you have mental problems or
Mm,
dormant, like mental illness, I'm going to say, it
yeah.
can, like, kind of bring that out, sort of. Like, so he started hearing voices, having auditory hallucinations. And he was like that for a while, and then he got super depressed, and then he got huge. He, like, gained a lot of weight, he got super depressed,
Wow.
stayed in
I
bed, and
remember that
he did
story.
nothing but eat. Yeah, he did nothing but eat hamburgers and like do cocaine. I guess was like the thing that he loved to do all the time and smoke weed.
Wow.
And then what happened? There's like a lot to this. And then in the late 70s, they did a whole campaign called "Brian is Back," yada yada yada. And then they got him this therapist or a handler, I guess, named Dr.
Eugene
Eugene
Landy.
Landy. Yes,
Yep.
sir. and he controlled Brian Wilson to a T, to the point of actually saving his life. In 1988, Brian Wilson released his first solo album, and it was like, wow, this guy is fucking back. Like it is a work of art. And the only reason that came about is because Landy was pushing him every day to work out, to write music, to be creative. But what was also happening is he was cutting all ties off with Brian's family. He was getting himself music credits on Brian's songs, really
Yeah.
shady shit. So, and then
Yeah,
also
he went a little bit overboard on that.
the biggest factor I'll say is Eugene Landy over medicated Brian on severe like barbiturates and like psychotic medication, which caused long term damage to Brian,
Oh
which is
man.
why he sounds so burnt out and like he's not there. It wasn't like the LSD. It wasn't even really hearing voices. It was the over medicating of Dr. Eugene Landy that really fried him.
Yeah, I'd say, I guess he went a little bit overboard on the control issue there. And I guess he lost his license because he admitted that he was doing a lot of things. I guess he was doing a lot of things that he shouldn't have, and as a result, his license got revoked. So I guess now
Yeah.
instead
Oh,
of Dr.
there,
Landy, it's now
there's
Mr. Landy.
well, he's dead now, but there are lots of stories and even interviews with Landy and like I think Diane Sawyer or something like that, where he basically exposes himself. Like the shit he says is fucking
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
When Brian finally gets away from him, like all these interviews, it's definitely worth checking out.
yeah.
It's insane that it actually happened like that.
When we think of stories like these, we also can't help but throw in Sid Barrett from Pink Floyd into the mix because he had some mental issues, and him doing all that LSD, all those drugs, not a good thing. Not a good thing, no doubt about that. Because
No,
the
Sid
stories
fucked
that
up.
he did this and did that backstage, on stage, at this rehearsal, still timeless to this day. All right, Darren. I think we have come to the conclusion of our episode for today. I
It
guess
was a
we got
big
It
show.
was fun.
it was
It was
good.
a big one.
Yeah, definitely. Paul 3, thank you for being on with us, dude. We
Hey,
appreciate
thank
that.
you for including me.
All
Yeah,
right
hey,
there.
anytime. I love talking music, man.
All
Call
right
me
there.
anytime about
Nice.
this.
All right. All right. And shout out to Prince Ido for joining in on the call just as well. Shout out to you, YR, as well, my bud.
I'll send you the thumbnails if you want to use any, brother.
All right there. Definitely send me one of them, and I'll definitely premiere this show later on in the evening. Okay. All right. That's it for tonight. Our episode of Music Maniacs. Subscribe to my channel. Hit that like button and notification bell, and also do the same for YR's channel, Entertainment 3. Excuse me, Entertainment Channel 360. So definitely look that up and sub to it as well. I guess YR's got some interviews coming up shortly, so definitely check those out just as well. In the
Yes.
meantime, I will see you. We'll be on live tomorrow night for Movie Madness. Looking at Al
Yes.
Pacino, correct? All right, 7
Yes.
p.m. Eastern.
Yes.
All right, there. Definitely look for us tomorrow night as well, folks. Take care.